Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Rural Survival Show with Rik Schmidt and Tim Spencer. This is being recorded on Saturday, the 6th day of August in the year of our Lord, 2022. Rik and I are going to discuss a myriad of things today, so hope you enjoy. Please don't forget to subscribe and share, and we're going to get started. Okay, Rik, what part do we want to start on?
Well, we're going to talk about tomatoes here soon, and we're going to talk about canning too.
Okay.
But I want to begin with something else.
All right.
We have contrived water shortages all over the West.
Yes, sir.
I don't even want to begin there. I want to begin with something that I find disturbing, and it's called quiet quitting.
Okay.
Quiet quitting is something that has manifested itself within the last year, with maybe even since, well, we could say since COVID, but maybe it's really starting to become, it's floating to the surface like bubbles now. And
Okay.
quiet quitting is manifesting itself amongst the younger people primarily. And what it is that these younger people, and you could say millennials or who, you can pick an age group, and I don't know that that's germane, but you could. And what they're doing is they're mailing it in. They have come to the realization, and I think since COVID, that going to work early, leaving late, and hitting it out of the park every day isn't getting them anywhere. It's not resulting in promotions and pay raises and things like that. In fact, I was listening to an interesting story yesterday or this morning about a guy who was doing just exactly that. He was busting his butt, and they had a new manager, which was promoted in above him. And about a year after the guy had been manager, he came around. It is just hotter than Hades out here, man.
Yeah.
Came around and told everybody there was a new position opening up, and their interview starts today. He's pulling that stock right out of the book, classic office bullshit. He's known everybody. He's been working with everybody for a year, at least a year. He knows exactly who he's about to hire, but he's out there puffing up his chest and acting like a jerk and treating everybody poorly. And so what has happened, how this works, how this manifests itself, is that these younger people have decided that it doesn't seem to matter what you do, how hard you work,
Right.
show up early, leave late. It doesn't produce the desired effect. And so what they're doing is they're quiet quitting. What they're doing is they are doing the bare minimum. They're showing up at 8, leaving at 4:59, and doing just enough not to get fired. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So I have a thought on the matter. I have two thoughts, actually. One of my thoughts is that COVID taught them to do this. This would be what I would consider to be unintended consequences of an attempt to take over the world.
Right.
This work from home thing, it showed people, young people, old people, middle-aged people, that their lives could actually mean something, and they could have a little bit of their life back.
Right.
Which I guess they never thought of it. It never occurred to them because let's be reasonable. when you're 3 or 4, they strap you in a car seat, take you to daycare. From there, you go to preschool, then kindergarten, then whatever they call that, primary school, then middle school, high school, then college, and you come out the other end nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof because you're afraid you won't find a job. And when you do find a job, you're underpaid and underappreciated. You can't buy a house. And now it's even worse. The cost of everything is just going straight through the roof.
Yes.
These young people don't have a chance. So they're quiet quitting. But I have another thought on this matter, and is this. It appears to me that quiet quitting is actually bleeding into personal relationships.
That's scary.
Divorce, the number one, the number one cause of divorce has always been monetary issues. That has always been the source of arguments and dysfunction, alienation of affection, divorce, all that. And now we have people not being able to earn enough money to pay their bills. Of course, it's going to cause marital dysfunction. It's going to cause discord. It's going to cause divorces. And I'm guessing just as Amazon benefited from the pandemic, am I allowed to use that word?
We're going to use it anyway.
Okay. Just as they benefited from that, I'm guessing that divorce lawyers and other people are going to benefit from the dysfunction caused by quiet quitting of personal relationships. That's what I think. Who was it? Germany. We're looking, I'm changing subjects a little bit now.
That's fine.
Germany has, that's the way I do stuff, guys. You're just going to have to put your seatbelt on and pull it tighter because I'm going to change subjects, every 30 or 60 seconds. Germany has just made a massive increase of their interest rates. They've gone from like negative 0.5% to 0. Yeah, look out now. 0. Ooh,
that's going to help inflation real quick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're on it. They're all over it. So go right ahead. So we have that. I have not seen a brownout yet, although we should have. The heat index once again today is just absolutely off the chart. We were supposed to have what I would have called a cold front that came in a day or two ago. Haven't seen none of that.
Heat index here is 99.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm losing about a half a pint a minute. My hands never sweat, and they are. Not that it matters at this point, but Las Vegas, New Mexico, not Las Vegas, Nevada, but they're right there. Has about 45 days of water left, and what they're doing is that it's not hard math. They're calculating the inflows and the outflows from Lake Mead, and I forget what is the other lake right there. There's two of them.
I don't know, Rick.
There are two of them, and of course, I'm going to suggest that this is just all BS. That this is all that this water nonsense is contrived and calculated. I'm going to say that's what that is. Canada is limiting fertilizer use. And trust me when I say there's a reason for that. They hope to curtail your food supply. They're pinching it for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
they're,
one way
and
to
they're
do it.
blaming it on their facts that fertilizer causes nitrogen pollution. Have you ever heard anything so silly?
Well, that and CO2. I mean, there's a lot more nitrogen in CO2, I think. I'm not a scientist, but I think there's an awful lot of that in the air. It's what you breathe constantly. There's some oxygen in there, obviously.
Yeah.
But you've also got CO2 and nitrogen and argon and cow farts. You've got all kinds of stuff in there. Another interesting situation going on is California has decided they want to tax your wells. They want to tax your water well. This is a private well now. This isn't a public well. They want you to put a meter on your well, and if you do, you get one bill. If you don't, you get a bigger bill. But if you do, they want to know how much they want you to report how much water you use each month and what you did with it and why. Unbelievable. Then this is your private well. This California, only maybe in Illinois. Illinois might do this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by Illinois.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many people are running from Illinois here.
Oh yeah. Well, what do they call these people? Refugees. People who are fleeing places like Illinois and California are going straight to Texas, where they will take their mental illness with them. That's what they'll do. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, has directed and/or suggested that the consumer should bear the brunt of any cost increases, any cost increases in energy. In other words, what they're saying is do not give out helicopter money. Do not give aid, monetary aid to the middle class. They're still in the business of exterminating the middle class. I stress that
they're not doing any favors to the lower class either. Like me, I'm under the poverty level. From what I get from the VA.
Okay, but then where'd you get that cool hat?
Mail
on we go.
eBay.
Camera. Yeah. So on we go. So changing subjects a little bit and having a little more fun than we're having, if I may.
Sure.
I have spent the last couple days canning tomatoes and eggplant and pepperoncinis. I'm trying to. This is a jar of pepperoncinis. I don't know.
We can see it, Rick.
Yeah. So you get to do whatever you want with these things. They have no heat. So if you want them to be a little spicy, you have to add spice. Okay. So to this, there is oregano, dill, basil, onion, garlic in there, plus a sliced jalapeno. Okay.
Right.
Both halves, because one half's okay, but 2 halves puts it right in the medium range. And that's pretty cool. I have been talking ad nauseum about tomatoes, and I think Tim's got a picture or two of I have so far, off 11 plants, so far have right around 90 to 110 pounds of harvest. And I might be maybe half done. So I will calculate that. The reason I told you that I was going to get you weights off the Hausenator 22.5 plant, the reason I can't is because my family keeps taking, I can't keep track of it. They keep stealing. There are some Roma styles which which I've been cooking up. The Roma styles are I get them from Hoss Tools, Invincible and Tachi. So the Tachi plants are okay. The Invincible plants are ridiculous. They're very robust. However, these are Invincible Romas.
Right.
That's a Tachi. Okay. So the Tachi doesn't produce as many tomatoes, but they're about twice the size. So, I would leave it up to you as to what you want to do. I will say that the Invincible plants are still hanging on right now. And bear in mind, these are determinate plants. They're basically designed to die
Right.
within the next couple of weeks. And they will. They're rolling over right now, and I've already got some more started. If I don't get my tomatoes all the way to maturity, I will at least get green tomatoes, which I want to talk about here momentarily. But before I do, okay,
Yeah.
this is one of the biggest producers of people who grow tomatoes for tomato stands. However, that's a Bella Rosa.
Right.
That's a Hossinator 2255. Okay.
That's birdie.
No, it is not as big. It is not as big as my head. It only here. Let me put my hand on it. Okay. Now I'm 200 pounds, so my hand is not little. That is the Hossinator 2255. That is a Bella Rosa. They're close. However, I will say this. I've been using these on tomato sandwiches.
Yeah.
This was bred for taste, and it is not as good as a Cherokee Purple or a Black Krim, but it is an outstanding tasting tomato. And when they say they bred it for taste, I'm going to say I'm going to give them, at least a B plus on this tomato. So I ordered another $25 worth of Hossinator seeds. This is a robust, a great plant, and they're still holding on. There must be another on the Bella Rosa plants. The Romas are dying. The slicing tomatoes, I've got two slicing tomatoes, the 2255 and the Bella Rosa. I've got two varieties. They're holding on. I don't think they're going to be dead till September, but there is another at least 90 pounds of tomatoes out there. And this is all off of 11 plants. Okay.
Right.
So I can give you an average. I won't be able to give you what I wanted to, which was a per plant readout. Yeah. But I can give you an average per plant. Another thing, in this heat, the eggplants are coming in like mad. One of my favorite things on this planet, and although I do love the pepperoncinis, I really do. So does my entire family. Right. I wind up giving the vast majorities of the pepperoncinis away. This, however, is escabeche. What this is eggplant. Okay, this is eggplant cut into matchsticks, and you sweat them. What you do is you put them in a colander. With some kosher salt, and you sweat them off. You sweat them for about a couple hours until the moisture comes off. You rinse them in a bowl of clear water with a little vinegar in them, and you roll them up in a clean dish towel and smash all the water out, and then you get yourself some quart jars. Okay, quart jars. Right. And you put herb. There's basil, rosemary. Although it is said, and I believe it, the star of the show with escabeche is oregano. So I have a fresh oregano bed in the back, and so I use a lot of that in there. But before, and this is personal, but this is up to you. Before I before I put the sweated out, dried out eggplant into this jar with olive oil, you fill this with, I fill it with extra virgin olive oil. Okay.
Right.
Before I do that, I sprinkle it with cayenne. You could use red pepper flakes. You could. I would prefer not to because that stuff's pretty rough on my system, but I have
Right.
no trouble with cayenne. Once you're in that situation, I stuff it in the jar and I fill the jar with extra virgin olive oil and I leave it for a week or two. And then
Right.
what you do is you get yourself some crunchy French bread or sourdough bread. You slice it and you put this stuff on there as a tapenade. It is so good, you just can't believe it. You would
I
think,
bet.
why would I want to eat raw eggplant in olive oil? You'd have to try it to know.
Right.
Yeah, it's so. Do you have any thoughts on the matter there?
I wish I had your talent for doing stuff like that. I mean, my canning is pretty much limited to beets, green beans, carrots, and tomatoes. And I even do the tomatoes
Well-
funny. I'll tell you what I do with tomatoes. It's going to sound silly to you, Rick. I take my
Maybe not.
tomatoes, quarter them, and I run them through a meat grinder. Now, here's
Yeah.
the reason I do that. One, when you take them out of the can, you can use them as a salsa if you put stuff in it.
Oh yeah,
Or two,
right.
you can put it in a blender and you got spaghetti sauce base and you add your spices to it. And it's so much easier for me to do it that way. I don't make the entire salsa mix and can it like I should, because I don't know what my daughter in white's going to want.
Well, that's it. I kind of quit doing that this year. I started just taking the tomatoes, peeling them, putting them in the jar, smashing them down to the extent that I can, and going ahead and pressure canning that.
Right.
And we'll decide what to do with it later. I will say this. Yesterday, I ran two jars of these pepperoni. These are refrigerated. Okay, this is a refrigerator pepper, like
Okay.
a Clausen pickle. I wanted to see what would happen because the refrigerator is full of these. I wanted to see what would happen if I pressure can them.
How'd it work?
Oh my God. These will stay crunchy for a year to a year and a half. I mean, it's like I eat icicles. They're so crunchy.
Right.
It turned them to slime. And
It
so
did?
what I
Okay.
did was I threw them out, and then, but at the same time, I had 5 more jars in the pressure canner. So I immediately turned the pressure canner off, and it was already too late. But I got to thinking about it because they taste amazing. It was just that the texture was weird. So I marked them as salsa. So what we can do is take that, drop it in a blender with a few tomatoes, and that would probably make amazing salsa. But
Yeah.
as far as pickled peppers, I probably wouldn't do that. I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm in an okay mood. I want to show you. I want to take 1 or 2 minutes and show you around here. I want to show you some stuff. Is
All
that
right,
going to be
Rick.
okay?
Yeah, it'll be okay, but let me restart this thing. I just got a warning saying we're almost out of time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Rick has graciously volunteered to show us around his yard and garden. Folks, you're
Well,
not going to believe this.
Well, we're not gonna go too far, but I could.
It's up to you, Rick. But I just
let me
want
see.
everybody to know how one look and they'll see how much work you put into this. So whenever you're
Well,
ready,
I'm ready. Yeah, here's the deal, folks. Everybody likes my yard, but I'm not showing you anything at all in an effort, this is not braggadocio. What I want to show you, honestly, is what a couple of old people can do if you will just stick with it. Just no quiet quitting. No quiet quitting, man. Keep your nose to the grindstone and keep moving. I don't care what part of your body hurts. Keep moving. All right, let's. I didn't plan this. Let me see what I can do.
All
And
right.
if I don't know how far I can get from the server from the modem, but let's see what happens.
All right.
And if I'm not pointing this in the right direction, you'll have to tell me
I
because I
will.
cannot see. All right.
I
Well, that's the lemon tree,
yeah.
and that is a couple of our. That's suet. That's a suet um, station where all the bug-eating birds and the other birds come and lemons, woodpeckers. Okay, that's an herb bed. That's primarily parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme, dill. That bird almost hit me in the head. There he is. She, whatever that is. That looks like a female. Chives, that kind of thing. My favorite thing this year is outrageous. It is an accident. This is something my wife did. Well, without my permission, but it is the strangest thing I've ever seen. That is Purple Heart, marigolds, and Silver Falls dichondra.
I like it.
Here are elephant ears, and that's a brand new sun coleus this year called Inferno. It's kind of a copper color. It's very weird. I'm particularly in favor of it. Of course, desert rose.
Right.
Okay, and this is more dichondra and blue Hawaii ageratum. These are the tomato plants that have been yielding all the tomatoes with the hoop house beyond. And this is only 11 plants, and I am just absolutely kicking butt this year.
Yeah.
Those are giant zinnias that aren't as happy as these are. And this is crepe myrtle with black leaves, cranberry crepe myrtle. These are catalpa trees that I cloned from one catalpa tree.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see out there, but those are more sun coleus of various varieties.
yeah. Actually, it's a really good picture, Rick.
That's weird. All right. That giant grass in there isn't supposed to be there, but we'll deal with that later at some point. So this would be this. Oh well, one more thing. So there's the shade garden. My wife takes care of this one.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful, Rick.
It is swell. This stuff is called Purple Heart and does great in the sun, in full sun. Um, um, this is bay tree. There's two of them, and that is a coffee tree that my son gave me, which we'll see how big it gets. And that would be about all that I can show you without getting too far from the modem and
Right.
losing my connection. Like I said, you know the biblical quote, he who has a purse must carry it. This stuff, this kind of thing, I'll show you the food garden next week.
Okay.
This kind of thing does not come without a price. If you're going to keep this much stuff, you're going to work your butt off. And
Yeah.
it's up to you. If you don't feel like pulling this plow, then don't. I couldn't blame you for not doing it. It is beastly, especially in this heat. It is just bad news. But over there in the food garden, there are carrots, collards, kale, beets, endive, and a couple of other things. And that is, where we get a lot of our food. Back in the hoop house, I don't know if you saw that in the back.
Yeah.
Back in the hoop house, behind everything, is where the nightshades are, because it's so dang hot down there.
Right.
The eggplants and the peppers like it. I do not. That's a place you only want to visit early in the morning. Going down there now would be a death sentence.
Right.
You're going to be lucky to get out of there. You're going to need a clothing change if you do. So that's about what I got. If you want to pause that there, and we can attach that to my next rantings, or do you have some thoughts on the matter, or should I be doing a prayer? What do you think?
Well, if you don't have anything else, Rick, yeah, go ahead and do the prayer, and I'll turn this
Sure.
on to one video. So,
Oh,
and
that'll be
it'll all be
interesting.
same day. It has good continuity, so it'll work.
Well, good. Okay. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the divine power of God, cast into hell Satan and all of the other evil spirits who wander through the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen.
Amen. And thank you, Rick. Okay.
My privilege.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to be back with another show next week. My guess is this one will air sometime Sunday afternoon, the 7th, because I got to put it together and then get it uploaded. It will go to both Rumble and YouTube. So if one's messed up, you can go to the other. I do ask you to please subscribe. It really would help us. It really wouldn't. And we would appreciate
Sorry.
if you'd like the video, if you do. It only takes a second to click that thumbs up button. So anyway, folks, we hope you have a good day, good weekend, good week. But thank you for watching. And bye-bye.
God bless you.